Good morning, students. I am Prof.Samandeep Kaur from Khalsa College for Women, Amritsar. My topic for today's lecture is Diaspora, Problem of Nation and Identity, and Theory of Acculturation. Let's start the lecture with the explanation of the term diaspora. Diaspora is the term used for the people who leave their country of origin in order to settle in some other part of the world, thus providing diversity to that new land, or you can say host land. Students, I would be using the term homeland and host land repeatedly, so I would like to explain these terms first. Homeland, that means the country of origin. Host land, that is the receiving society. So before moving further, I would like to record the definition of diaspora from Oxford's Advanced Learners Dictionary, which says diaspora is the movement of people from any nation or group away from their own country. There is another definition of diaspora given by William Safran in his essay Deconstructing and Comparing Diasporas. He writes, diasporas comprise special kind of immigrants because they have retained a memory of, a cultural connection with, and a great orientation towards their homeland culture and or religion. They relate in some symbolic or practical way to their homeland. They harbor doubts about their full acceptance by the host land. They are committed to their survival as a distinct community, and many of them have retained a myth of return. So we can say that in alien lands, these diasporic communities, they always hold memories of their homeland and the country of origin, and also they always have a fear of alienation, an uncertainty of present, a fear of future. And that is why they suffer from dual existence or the sense of displacement. Moreover, these people, they also want to enjoy, or you can say they also want to avail all the rights and liberties as per enjoyed by the natives of the host land. But at the same time, they are not ready to detach themselves from their homeland's culture. And that is why this problem of dual existence and displacement occurs for them. In this regard, I would like to quote Penina Weber's. She has written in her article Complex Diaspora that a growing consensus recognizes the dual orientation of diasporas to fight for citizenship and equal rights in the place of settlement, often alongside other ethnic groups, while simultaneously continuing to foster transnational relations and to live with a sense of displacement and loyalty to other places and groups beyond the country of settlement. So after this, I would like to start with the problem of nation and identity. 20th century, everybody knows, is the century of scientific advancement, globalization, materialism, and industrialization. So number of people from the poor nation, they started migrating to the developed nations like North America, Europe, etc. in search of better future perspectives and for better existence. But when they reach those nations, they always suffer from several problems. And two among them are the problem of nation and identity. So the thing is, then when the migrants, they reach those nations, they always think about their identity in the surrounding environment in this new land. But they find themselves nowhere. Because as I've already discussed with you, they fail to implant themselves in the new culture, and they fail to disconnect themselves from the native land's culture. And moreover, the people of the host society, they are not ready to accept them as their own part. So this problem of nation and identity occurs for them. And if we dig deeper, we find that this problem of nation and identity is a psychological and emotional problem, because in this a sense of belongingness and the problem of acceptance is involved. And moreover, these migrants, they cannot find a home in these alien lands, because it is popularly said that home is where your feet are. But it is the thing is that we cannot establish a home just by resting our feet at any place, because until and unless our emotional attachment is there, we cannot establish it our home at any place. That is why this problem occurs. And now I would like to discuss the types of diaspora, especially Indian diaspora. There are two types of diasporas. One is old diaspora, second is new diaspora. Old diaspora includes four subcategories. First is migration of slaves and laborers, migration of convicts, migration of contracted laborers, and migration of free or passage emigrants. And from these categories one can conclude that this migration, it is out of need and obligation. And let me talk about the other form of diaspora, that is new diaspora. New diaspora includes people who moved to the foreign lands in the 20th century, and the reason is same, that is to search good perspectives for themselves. And the nations they reached were like North America, West Asia, Oceania, and you can say Europe also. Moreover, in 1960s, major nations like UK, USA, Australia, Canada, New Zealand, they have relaxed their immigration policies also. And so a number of professionals migrated to these lands. The list of migrations include like teachers, doctors, scientists, and the list is so long. So up till now, I have discussed with you the concept of diaspora, then the problem of dual existence faced by the diasporic communities, the problem of nation and identity, and the types of diaspora. Now let me discuss the theory of acculturation with you. Acculturation, it is a multifaceted process in which group of individuals belonging to different culture, they come in contact with each other, they influence each other, thus causing intercultural changes. And a lot of research has been done on acculturation. But today I would like to quote the definition of acculturation as per given by a famous psychologist, that is J.W. Barrie, in his article A Psychology of Immigration. He says, acculturation is a process involving two or more groups with consequences for both. In fact, however, the contact experiences have much greater impact on the non-dominant group and its members. For this reason, much of the research on acculturation has focused on such non-dominant peoples such as immigrants and indigenous peoples, tending to ignore the impact on dominant population. But this theory is further examined by different scholars from varied angles. For instance, Barrie, Finney, Sam, Wedder introduced the concept of acculturation as acculturation is the process of cultural and psychological change that follows intercultural contact. Cultural changes include alterations in the group's customs and in their economic and political life. Psychological changes include alterations in individuals and their social behaviors in relation to the groups in contact. Thus, in this culturally complex world, the immigrants need to seek strategies to live harmoniously with the people of different cultures and identities. Now, let's see that J.W. Barrie, he has categorized the process of acculturation into four subheadings. That is, he has given four strategies of acculturation. First is marginalization, second is separation, third is integration, and fourth is assimilation. Let me discuss all these terms with you one by one. First is marginalization. Marginalization, it is the least common form of acculturation popular among the adults and adolescents. Because in this, the migrants, they discard the culture of the homeland and the host land. Because of some bitter experiences in the past, like that of neglection, discrimination, etc. Other is separation. In this form of acculturation, the migrants, they completely isolate themselves from the culture of the host land, because they are not ready to leave their ties with their ethnic communities, and they just want to keep their bond intact with the native land. Next is the most adaptive, most acceptable, most balanced, most stable form of acculturation is integration, because in this the migrant have a tendency to be the part of both homeland and hostland culture, and in the process he does not have to leave his cultural identity also. And the last form of acculturation is assimilation. Assimilation, it is a process of culturation or a form of acculturation in which immigrant breaks all the ties with the native land, because he has a motive to be the part of host land only, and he has no interest in maintaining his ethnic ties. And these are the main types or forms of acculturation. So if I conclude my today's lecture, I would like to say that acculturation is a complex phenomena, because in this the diasporic communities, they have different tendencies to join the mainstream society, and their pace of acculturation also varies depending upon the level of their perceptibility, understanding, family structure, and also the social interaction among the culturally dissimilar groups. Thank you.